Hi harmonica fans, my name is Lee Sankey and today we are carrying on talking about tongue blocking on the diatonic harmonica. This is my 6th video I think on the subject, and we began talking about why you should think about using tongue blocking. Then we talked a bit about the different things you can do with tongue blocking, the different effects, etc. And then we moved on to the subject we've been covering over the last few videos, which is using tongue blocking to produce single notes. And all of these videos have been about an intermediate or a beginner player who's lip pursing but wants to start using tongue blocking. And this is very much how I learned to tongue block. So the core idea is to maintain your lip pursing where you feel confident on the bottom part of the harmonica, where you've got complex bends, and then to start using tongue blocking on the draw 4 and above. So that's the kind of scales that we've been working on, and if you haven't seen those videos, go and check them out. So the last one we introduced a couple of moves which are very reminiscent of the great William Clark. So now hopefully you've got something which sounds a bit like this. That's what we focused on in the last video. Now this week I want to introduce something else and move into a couple of different positions, first position and third position. And the key theme for this lesson is how tongue blocking can help you cover intervals on the harmonica, i.e. miss out a hole that you're next to hit another note, or one or more holes. So one of the really tricky things about playing the harmonica compared to some other instruments is making these kind of intervals and leaps on the piano or the guitar or the saxophone. If you want to go up a fifth or up a fourth or up an octave, etc., or do arpeggios, your fingers or the use of keys allow you to go from one note to one which is in pitch much further away, either higher or lower. That's quite hard to do on the harmonica because you're having to, jump around with one embouchure in a very tight space, and it's difficult to maintain that accuracy. So one of the great things about combining lip pursing with tongue blocking, or being able to tongue block on both sides of your tongue, is it enables you to make these intervals. And I've talked in several videos about this idea of like a piano player being able to jump around the keyboard, and in a harmonica sense you're going from just playing the piano with one finger, as in just lip pursing, to being playing with two fingers, which is either playing with both sides of your tongue or going from lip pursing to a tongue blocking embouchure. So that's what we're focusing on today, and we're going to be using the techniques that we've talked about over the last 3 videos. So if you've been working on producing a clean single note tongue blocked on the draw 4, you will be able to do what we're talking about here. So let's start with the first exercise, which is in first position. So we're using a C harmonica, diatonic harmonica, in the key of C. So we'll be playing in the key of C, and this is all about playing first position blues. Now that has a very characteristic sound, typically combining the low end of the harmonica with the high end. So players like Jimmy Reed, a very characteristic sound. So if you're a big intermediate player, or you listen to a lot of harmonica, you'll recognize the sound and the licks straight away. So the notes we're using here are the blow 4, the draw 3 half step bend, the draw 2 no bend, draw 2 full step bend, the blow 2 and the blow 1. So it sounds like this. So those are the notes. So you're going from the root note to the draw 3, which is the 7th, to the draw 2, which is the 5th note in this instance, to the draw 2 full step bend rather, which is the 4, the 4th note in the scale, in the full sequence, the blow 2, which is the major 3rd in this case, and the blow 1. So what's interesting, just touching on a bit of kind of music theory for a second, is how you've got those same notes have completely different roles if you're in a different key. So when you're playing cross position, the blow 4 is the 4 chord, whereas when we're in first position it's the root note, it's the 1. And that that draw 3 half step bend, which in cross position is that minor third, that blue note, its role completely changes when we move to first position. It then becomes the 7th. So that's a key concept to keep in mind, is how the same note has a different role depending on the chord or the key that you're in. So what is the key tongue blocking thing to put into this scale? So what we're going to do is we're going to do a very common lick which exemplifies this idea of missing out a hole or an interval. And it's going to start on the draw 2, half step bend, the draw 2, no bend, then the blow 4, which we're going to tongue block. Then we're going to draw 3, half step bend, very important, that's a half step bend, that's 7th. You'll hear it, if you don't bend it, it will give that scale a major sound. So you want to take it down half step so it's got that blues sound. Then we go back to the 2, then we're going to do a draw 2, half step bend to the flat 5, which gives that bluesy edge, and then the blow 2 and the blow 1. Sounds like this. That's the move. Now the key tongue blocking thing, as I said, is going from that draw 2, half step bend, to the draw 2 to the blow 4. You're missing out the blow 3. Okay, so you're going. And that's a great thing to practice. Now you can play that move either all tongue blocking or lip pursing. It is possible to go draw 2 and miss out that 3 and blow 4, but I think if you experiment you'll find that not only does that tongue blocking give it a sort of better sound, but it also facilitates that switch between the draw 2 and the blow 1 without hitting the blow 3 at all. And of course you can also play around with how you're connecting to that tongue block note, starting the airflow split second before the tongue makes that connection for that kind of rushing sound. Very Sonny Boy Williamson. So once more. Okay, so play around with that, and of course you can try and make and develop your own expression and your own licks by sort of hanging on notes, especially that draw 2 half step bend on the way back. Okay, so that's the first example of that interval. And then we're going to do the same thing, same kind of concept, which is making an interval with missing a hole in between in third position. So again, intermediate players or people who listen to a lot of harmonica, this move or this scale will be very familiar to you. So it sounds like this, starting on the draw 4. Once more. So from a tongue blocking perspective, where we are with using the tongue blocking on the draw 4, the blow 4, and then we're going to switch to lip pursing because we've got some bends here, and if you're just starting, then it's good to have that build upon your existing lip pursing, or not, throw it away, so you can build your confidence. So we've got that draw 4, blow 4, draw 3, a whole step bend, a tone, 2 bends, then to the draw 2, then the draw 2, a half full step bend, and then to the draw 1. That's the kind of the scale. And what's good to practice is the tongue blocking on the 4 and then switching to your lip pursing. And again, same applies, the way that you connect that tongue blocking note. You can either start with it straight away, or you can start the airflow and then bring the tongue in. And you can also play around with octaves, etc. So okay. Now the part we're going to add on to that shows how you can miss out a note in these intervals. And very simply, when you get to the draw 1, you're going to go draw 2 all the way down, full step bend, up a semitone to the draw 2 half step, and then hit the draw 4 tongue blocked. Okay, sounds like this. So that little bit at the end. Again, great thing to practice on your own. Okay, so you're going from the minor third to the major third to the root note in terms of music intervals. Now again, try it lip pursed, experiment, but I think you'll find that transition with going from that draw 2 bend to the draw 4 without hitting the 3 at all works really well with going from that lip purse style to the tongue block. Now just to reiterate, when I play today, I would tongue block 80, 90, 95% of the notes that I'm playing. But I didn't start like that. When I began playing, I was lip pursing and I gradually folded in more and more tongue blocking over the years. That's something that's worked for me, might not work for everyone. So what I'm talking about here is very much how I learned to play, and that fundamental idea of continuing to lip purse on the first 3 holes, but then tongue blocking from 4 and above. And these days I will tongue block on both sides of my mouth, and I will tongue block around the 3 and the 2 and the 1, and I also tongue block on the high end in first position. But that took me many years to get the hang of, and in fact I'm still trying to get the hang of it today. So just a quick recap. How can we miss out notes cleanly to play intervals like you would on the piano or the guitar or the saxophone? Switching between a lip pursing embouchure or a tongue block embouchure is a great way of doing that, and it allows you to miss holes and hit another note higher or lower with great accuracy. 2 examples of that, one in first position, which is going from that draw 2 half step bend to no bend to that blow 4 without hitting the 3. Harp fans would have all heard that lick, that will be familiar. Same again in third position, going from that draw 2 full step bend to a half step bend on the 2 and then hitting the draw 4 tongue blocked. So you've got 2 different intervals in different positions which allow you to work on this idea, which then, trust me, can be extended massively. So that third position lick, and just focus on that last little interval. Now once you've got that, you can start playing around with it. You don't necessarily have to do that last little step. You might go from the draw 1 all the way up to the 4 straight away, a full octave. And that's another great example of how you can move a distance of 4 holes cleanly. Try that lip pursed, going from the draw 1 to the draw 4 without hitting any of the holes that quickly. It can be done, but it's very hard, and in my experience it results in being sloppy. Same idea in that first position lick. When you get to that blow 1, try going up to that blow 4 straight away. Try doing that lip pursed without making that leap with that tongue block to the blow 4. It can be done, but it's sloppy. So that's a key idea. I hope you found that useful, and next time we will talk about a few more tongue blocking techniques on the diatonic harmonica. And once again, many thanks for everyone who's watching these videos, sending in positive comments, much appreciated. I hope you found it useful. Thank you.